welcome to everyone. Thanks for joining U-Mergency. So yeah, I hope you guys had a good time with your families and loved ones, your friends, whoever you hung out for the Christmas. Maybe some people they stay alone. Maybe whatever makes them happy. I hope you did had a good holidays. So today, GameStop had a little bit of a high volatility. I mean, I was expecting. I mean, a lot of people who play options. I mean, they already knew that there's gonna be some pullbacks, right, on Friday because of the option expiration date. Also, GameStop. I was so before market opens. I made a post. This one. I don't know if anybody saw this one, but so this was my post before the market opens. I posted this one yesterday at 4 a.m. I don't know why I did that, but I woke up and then I decided to just look at things a little bit more closely before I buy into some options, because I was planning to buy some options today, and I wanted to take a look at it a little bit more carefully, and then I just sometimes you sometimes like woke up and go to bathroom and stuff. So I woke up to go to bathroom and then I just ended up sitting down and then checking TA again. um I don't know if anybody it happened to anybody, but yeah. Anyway, so this is what I came up with. So I did so I was comparing between 2021 January and May, and then it was very interesting that there's some area that where they're tracking 2021 January, which is there's a little bit of pullback phase, but I think this time they're kind of going through a May again, and when I saw this kind of also trident shape, this kind of fork type of shape, right, this like 1 2 3 triple top shape, this same shape also appear, or was this fractal or algo, whatever you want to call this one, created by the long forces, possibly Roaring Kitties or maybe somebody behind him. So they create that as a signal, and then it's easier for individual investors to read that as as a signal, right? So and then after that, what happened in May? This is May. By the way, the May run was extremely fast compared to whatever is accumulating right now. So when you look at this, what happened here after this creating a trident shape, whatever, 1 2 3, and shoot up, right? And there's a pullback, right? And after that, what happened? Another one happened, right? Another shooting happened, right? So when you take a look at this one, when you take a look at what are they making, it was very similar that during this pullback phase, they created a much bigger triple top, right? What they created here, but then when you look at, so what I was kind of paying attention was, do they want to break out this this pink line I drew here, right, which is this line, right? So when the reason I draw this line was because when you take a look at what happened in May. So I'm just gonna zoom in here just to give you guys what the understanding what I have here. So this triple top happened. So when you draw the line on the same top area, it forming the triangle formation, and also you have to draw a line below as well. Just hit all the bottom. It's sort of creating a triangle formation, and they have to make a decision, right? And then it shoots up, right? It shot up, but it was very rapid. It was very fast. But right now, instead of running like that, I mean, they did try to do something similar, but it took some time. But they did, they did break this out. You know what I mean? They did break this out. This pink line I drew from the top to top. So they broke this line, and then trying to push these things. And then as you saw what happened on Christmas Day, Roaring Kitty tweet again, right? So he tweet this Christmas gift. And then I took a look at it. I mean, there's a lot of tin foils, and people look at many different ways, whether he's hinting something, what's in the box, There are a lot of people speculate, And then I try to look at it from the technical perspective as well, I don't know if it could be a signal where, like, I mean, I don't know. For me, let me tell you what I think. I have no fucking idea what it is, to be honest. I'm not insider. I have no idea. But in my point of view, I'm more a technical guy, right? I mean, I do look at others' filings and all that, but I try to look at more technical point of view, yeah? Because I know that we have to run, right? We are at the point where, like, we have to see $40, but it's not showing yet, right? And then what's this present, right? This present maybe is the gift for the investors, the retail investor, to see some a gift here, right? And then is it, and then I was like, and then he knows when he tweets, right? And some people like say like, oh yeah, I wish he tweet maybe the daytime, but that's kind of silly, because we saw that during his live stream last time. There was like 20 something halts, like it barely moves up and down, maybe 1-2% or 1%, 2%, but they like halted like fucking crazy. So what can this? Oh, so I was trying to remembering what happened there, May and June, whatever, all the the our Roaring Kitties the live streams and all that, and then I try to understand like what his intention is, what his Roaring Kitties intention is. It really showing a signal? Is it? But to be like let me tell you, like, I'm not, like, this is not financial advice, like this is just like me just fucking around, all right? So my point of view, okay, was in my head, like, this is just my speculation, and I'm just bullshitting, I might be just fucking you wrong guy again, right? But what I understand was Ryan Cohen is doing something that nobody can do, right? That's correct, right? Pulte can do it. Donald Trump cannot do it. He's a politician, right? He has his stuff to do. Pulte has his stuff to do, right? Everyone has a stuff to do. Everyone has a mission. And I think about this one. What's Roaring Kitty's mission here, right? It like in a way that he's let's say a team, right? Let's say that, right? I'm not saying his same team, but I'm just saying that, right? What if, right? Because that's something I learned, right? I work in animation, right? I make movies. I work in creative field, so I always think, what if, right? I always think about that. What if? So what if you ask that same question, what if Roaring Kitty is the same team as RC, and Roaring Kitty is doing something that what RC cannot do, and the RC is doing something that what anybody else can do, which is what? Creating a Teddy, right? Making a Berkshire Hathaway, right? What is Roaring Kitty can do then for other people that cannot do? He's a retail investor. He's not an institution guy. He's a retail investor, right? He marked as a retail investor. Media spread. Media tells people that he's a retail investor, but he has a shitload of money. You know that, right? And then on the last filing, when there was a lawsuit against him because of the whole like fucking shit like that, like he said pump and dump. I mean, not pump and dump, but you know what I'm trying to say. When there was a lawsuit against Roaring Kitty, I remember he did say that there's like a 3 or 2 couple investors, right? And then they and then he's managing his money too, right? So what I can learn from is that he could do something that people cannot do. If he's an institution and if he does something, it could be like he could be targeted as a manipulator or something, right? But he's a retail investor, right? Remember the video that I forgot which one, but there was a guy who's from Wall Street. He was Wall Street, like yeah, he like a manager before, and he did say that retail investors are doing something that hedge fund cannot do. Why? Because they can get sued, right? Because hedge fund can make other hedge fund can but basically what he says, a hedge fund can squeeze other hedge fund, but they cannot do it, right? Because they can get sued, right? They get lost, they get sued, or it's against the regulation. I mean, they could go to jail or something like that. But he's a retail investor, so he has a lot of money, right? He got a lot of money, and then he know how to play options, and I think he can create a volume. He can create. He can let things go. He can make how to make gamma squeeze. He can move them maybe a little bit of some influence, like maybe market and something like that. So in my opinion, in my perspective, that Roaring Kitty could do something that RC or other people cannot do, which is creating this type of maybe fractals or run, or maybe he's working with other people, other long forces, and creating this type of fractals and algos, patterns and things like that, So I think, to be honest, to me, when I saw the Christmas present tweet, I took that as a, some people took that as some sort of a what's in the box. But to be honest, for me, it was already a present for me. I just took that as a just present. I didn't care what's in the box, because we know what's in the box. We know the squeeze is coming. But what's his intention? His intention is to create a gap up, and we did. He made a gap up, right? It did like a gap up, right? So after he tweets, so let me change the candle here. So it went up 5%, right? It went up like 5% or something. He created a gap up, right? And this thing come down to fill the gap. Okay. So I was trying to look at this and be like, okay, so where are we? Where are we? Do we see this one yet? Right? I was keep asking myself. What I noticed is that this thing, when you line all this thing up, it did broke up right away. But this thing did break up here, but it was just right there, I think. No, yeah. So let me just remove this one. So this is where we finished before the Christmas. So the Christmas tweet, so he knows that the market maker somehow, I don't know. Whenever he tweets, he moves the market. I don't know why. But that's what he understands. He knows that if he tweets something, it's connected to the GameStop algo or fractal, so algo. So if he tweets something, it creates a gap up, and then I think this just for me is to create a gap up here. It's just simple as that. I might be completely wrong, but that's how I look at it, because he is the guy create a liquidity. He's the guy is connected to the game stuff, the algo, and things could pop. And then what you look at here, it stopped right there, and boom, it shot up here. And then you know how much? It went up exactly 5%. Isn't that interesting? Okay, I'm not bullshitting. I'm just seeing I'm just telling you what I see here. I might be completely wrong, but that's how I look at it. You don't have to disagree. I mean, you don't have to agree with me, but look at what happened here. So this fractal, after creating this trident shape, triple top, this went up to here 10%. Let's see how much went up. It went up 10% exactly. Okay, and then it stopped right there, right before Christmas. Okay, if he didn't tweet on Christmas, the market maker can take this down again and maybe try to buy more time. But instead, by our Rowan Kitty tweet this thing here, it was already the present. He created a gap up, which what happened here. It didn't gap up, but it pushed upside here, right? This thing pushed up to 5%. He created a gap up, went up, 6%. Something similar. You know what I mean? So that's how I look at it, He tweets simple things. He knows he could move the market. He knows I'll go run, right? I just look at that way. I don't really look at like, I know people say, oh yeah, what is there any is there any like what's in the box? I think that's overthinking for me, at least in my point of view, because what he want to make was to create a gap up to exactly go like that, instead of they can push this down here. Okay, so you look at this part. What happened here? It touches and push down, touches, push down, touches, push down. This thing pushed up, push down, right? They always try to push this down level, right? This level. They're trying to, you know what I mean? You see that? And then this is the part again where they could push down if Roaring Kitty didn't tweet. So he tweet, create a gap up, push back to fill this gap, and push back up again, right? And it's a little bit different. I mean, the percentage amount of the percentage is exactly the same as May 2nd before heading into May 3rd run. Okay, that's how I look at it. I might be completely wrong, but we'll see next week, and maybe that might be the present, and this thing has to go too, right? So I think it is definitely a setup there to make this kind of algo, to make this kind of fractal, but it's just been delayed, right? But anyway, so this thing pushed up, RK tweets, create a gap up, push down, fill the gap, push up, finishing that up. So I'll show you the close of what's going to happen next week. And same thing, it created a triangle shape. It pushed up, right? Stop right there. Somehow something pushed up, pull back, create a triangle shape, some sort of a bull flag, whatever, and then start to pushing things up, right? So let's look at close up here. It's a little messy, so I'll just delete these things, but hope you guys see what I see here. So it broke a very important this resistance line due to the Roaring Kitty tweet. So look at this. So this is this fractal here. Okay, so create this huge fork shape or triangle shape, or the trident shape, whatever. Push this up, push up, and then pull back. Same percentage, 15%, right? This thing went up 15%, 16%. This thing from bottom to here, 17%, almost same. So we are right there. Okay, in my opinion, I might be wrong. So from here, I did post today in the morning, 4 a.m. After I pee. Look at this one. Yeah, I just say exactly same thing. Slightly pullback, right, before 37% rally. I think we're going to have we're going to go through a similar area, and then I'm expecting 40 to 45 level. XRT ETF ratio, yeah, that's another thing. XRT ETF ratio, there's a force covering within the T+13 period, right? And then that will end by January 3rd or something. January 6th, I'm sorry. So I think it might happen maybe before this. So let me walk you guys through here. So I do think that we are just going through this area, just a little bit of pullback. I'm gonna turn this one down a little bit so you guys can see it better. You can see it better now, right? I'm gonna keep this one so that you guys can see where we at. So yeah, when you look at this one, it hit the top, pull back, but it was very sharp because they want to fill this gap here. That's the RC tweet gap, right? RC tweet, RK tweet, Rolling Kitty tweet. The gift box, create a gap up, push things down, right? Fill this gap, now it's ready to go. And then this thing create a triangle shape perfectly, right? And then this thing has to go. So now, by Monday, what are the price action we could see here? So I, in this area where there's a bit of a drop, they push harder, but they come back up real fast. So I think we might be somewhere there. We might see another little bit of a push down in the morning. Who knows, right? Maybe just touch this area. So, this thing, when you create a line here, and then this thing touches here, this thing touches here, forming a nice triangle shape. So tomorrow morning, usually market opens, they usually like to tank the price. I don't know, it depends. But this day, normally when 9:30, they shot up, and then they crash down maybe by 11 a.m. and then they roll back again at 2-3 p.m. right? But yeah, maybe market opens, maybe they want to push this down thing again, right? And then maybe they want to push this thing up. And then if you see, okay, I think most important thing here is that if we see a I personally don't think we are here yet, in my opinion. This algo here come down, push up, push down real fast, push back up. That's this area. That's this fractal here, right? Push down, push up, push down one more time again before this thing try to break this triangle shape, and push back up, push back down again, heading into the final, at the tip of the triangle shape, and then start to pushing up. So they're gonna fuck around until we reach to the tip of the triangle shape, in my opinion. Okay, so I think by Monday, not tomorrow, by Monday, you guys have to take a nice break, nice weekend. So Monday, what I want to see is that I want to see this thing down again, okay? $31.94, just touching this this line here, forming this triangle shape, and then I want to see this thing try to push up to $33 level, try to break up this triangle shape, and then I want to see the shorts wanted to crash this down, and that will be the final confirmation for me, which what they did here. Push up, boom, push down, and then start rally. And this exact same movement happened before. I remember that. So that's the Monday. I want to see that, and from 11 or 10:30, this thing start to launch. And if this thing touch $35 by 2 p.m., that's what it says. Depending on the speed of algo, this thing will be a top. Like, we're gonna see this type of May 3rd. This all happened on May 3rd, right? I think the similar move of May 3rd will happen by Tuesday. Okay, so Monday and Tuesday. This is Monday. So this part I want to see by Monday, and then I see that by Tuesday. So yeah, let's see. And then that will be the final of the year, and then that's the gift, maybe. He create a gap up. He knows the if he tweets, the GameStop algo will run, create a gap up. So that was the gift, and then he did exactly the same thing. This thing happened. This went up 10%. This thing went up 10%. Touched this line, this pink line, resistant line, and then this went up 5% and pull back. He tweet the Christmas gift, create a gap up, went up 5 to 6%, pull back, and then fill the gap and push back up again, forming a nice triangle shape. So yeah, and then this thing also it's in the XRT ratio T+13 period. So I do hope and expect a $45, $43 to $45 by Tuesday next week, which is December 31st, and that's a gift, right? That's how I look at it. And if it doesn't happen, yeah, maybe it doesn't happen, but I think it is time. It's I think it is time. It's showing in the chart. It's already showing very nicely. And then yeah, that's pretty much it for GameStop. I'll probably talk about this one later, but in my opinion, not financial advice, but there's a lot of hypes on the January OPEX, but this is January OPEX. Really, nothing happens here. But things happen well after OPEX, so just be careful with options. And then there's a gap up phase here. I don't know what's going to happen here. There's a January 13. There's a BBY versus RC case. James Hunter reply. I don't know if there's any effects from that, but it doesn't seem like it. But what's interesting is the February 3rd. There's a Bed Bath Beyond versus RC case, and RC has to reply. That's Monday. And it's interestingly, the pick will be February 3rd, around that area. And maybe this announcement from Bed Bath versus RC case, and RC has to reply about this case, and maybe that will influence the GameStop stock price, because after February 3rd, GameStop will start to tank. And then I did remember also that in GameStop filing, they did mention that they're not gonna dilute the fiscal year end until fiscal year end, and the fiscal year end will be January 31st, and that's exactly when the January 1st pass, heading into early February, and the February 3rd, versus RC case, and RC has to reply. And then I do think that it's possible that the pick will be around early February. I might be completely wrong, but I'm just saying that. So yeah, we'll see. So let's see how much this thing will blast off by Monday, Tuesday, and then I can maybe do more analysis later on. But that's just what I have here. So that's GameStop. Let's take a look at AMC. AMC is kind of difficult stock, as I mentioned before, but I do see that they're dragging out. As what you know, as what happened to AMC before in May, they didn't do any shit before GameStop blew up. So in my opinion, they're using market makers or whatever. They're using AMC to somehow push the stock price of GameStop, right? Push down the, we talk about that all the time. But I think AMC has to show direction. It cannot just continue to, making this shit up. So there's a two scenario here, but I think we are going through this very early January area in 2021, and then I think when GameStop blow up next week, I think AMC will go up together. But I don't think AMC yet to be in that crazy squeeze area. I think they're still going through this accumulation. Either they're gonna go blast off like that, and then maybe top here. And then interestingly, when you draw a line, all this line here from the top of this candle, it did hit this exact spot and then come back down. forming this thing again, you know. So maybe this area, maybe things could blow up and then come back down real fast, and then, you know, forming this triangle formation, you know, who knows. And then things really, you know, start to move, maybe by January after OPEX or something, you know. So I need to see some of the confirmation. I mean, AMC has to show something, but I think it is time to show some signal here, because it's already forming very tight triangle formation, so it has to show some direction here. But I do think that it's going to move up, but I think still AMC will show a very high volatility, moves ups and down. But you know, if GameStop pick around February, I think AMC will do the same thing. But right now, what I have, I still need more data, because GameStop is much easier because it's tracking very similar to 2024 May and January, right? 2021 January. So GameStop has already kind of figured out all the fractals, and then we just have to find out which fractal they're using, and then we just have to kind of adjust those things. But AMC is completely just fucking, it's crazy. It's so yeah, this thing is just crazy chart. I mean, yeah, it's really difficult to track. But I still think that we are going through a 2021 January, right? So I do expect that we're gonna see a much bigger squeeze than you know, this year May. So I do expect at least to 700 to 800% at least from AMC. So we'll see. Okay. So, and when you maybe I'll show you this one. So when you take a look at this one, the RSI, current RSI in this 8-hour chart, yeah, it's creating a very nice ups and down, right? High and low, which what happened here, creating higher low, right? It's creating higher low. So we might be somewhere here. I mean, it's just crazy how they're, yeah, it's just so dumb. Yeah, what, you know, what the RSI level is 35 level. So 35 will be somewhere here. Where's 35 here? Okay, so 35 is somewhere here. Yeah, so you know, they're doing this kind of stuff right now. Just so dumb. And after this formation, yeah, they create a triangle shape and then shot up, you know, shoot up here and then maybe pull back. So I mean, AMC still has the time to, I think, accumulate for maybe market makers, institution, whoever that is. But yeah, even retail investors, I think, you know, not financial advice, but I mean, I think it's opportunity there. You know, I think you know, rather than, you know, heading into, you know, when this thing start to, you know, kicked off and launch, I mean, it will be very, very rapid. You know, it will be really quick like that. So I think this area still is if this is right, and I do think that we are heading into this 2021 again, repeating this 2021 cycle again. And if this is right, I think this is the opportunity, right? So, but yeah, I think next week, next Tuesday, at least Monday, Tuesday, as GameStop has to explode to upside to $40 to $45 level, I need to see our AMC as well. I need to see how AMC is creating the fractals, and you know, once it kind of shows more data that they do something like that, and then pull back, you know, creating more shapes, triangle shape again, like very more clear triangle shape, then I'll be like, okay, there you go. Okay, so now I see more evidence, I see more data that, okay, AMC is doing something very similar to, you know, somewhere, you know, and then I could kind of predict what will be the future price, you know, what would the future, you know, potential move, right? So, you know, everything is just prediction, right? Nothing is 100%. You know, I'm not a market maker here. You know, I'm not Ken Griffin's, you know, engineer or something. You know, I'm just, you know, a guy who trying to predict what's going to happen in the future, right? So, based on the, you know, the fractals and the chart and algorithm, right? So that's AMC. SIRI, let's take a look at SIRI. SIRI is also very interesting too. You know, I think SIRI did hit the bottom. It come back up really rapidly, based on the 2023 June or July run. It did form the nice M shape, which what happened here, and now hit the bottom, start to pushing this up, right? So I think they parked somewhere here before heading into this area, $28 to fill the gap. I want to see this thing pull back again, $25 again. I want to see this thing push back up by February 10th, which is the same area, same time frame when GameStop squeezed, right? So I think maybe overall market, the small and mid cap. Oh shit. Sorry about that. My dogs. So yeah, so that's SIRI, and then yeah, I want to see SIRI this. I want to see this. I want to see SIRI launch up to $34 by February 10th. I want to see pullback by March 26th, and this is after OPEX. So March OPEX is March 21st, right? So I want to see that, right? And that will be the final confirmation for me to enter into SIRI, because I think this will be the nice play. 1 second. And then yeah, I think after GameStop, I mean after this whole run here, I think my next play will be SIRI, and I think there will be evidence. I think there will be I'm not financial advice, of course, but I think there will be what was the screenshot? What was the thing that RK said? Like, I think he mentioned something like there will be a sign or something, right? So in my opinion, I think there will be signs for SIRI, and we gotta take a look at what kind of sign that Roaring Kitty will give out by March OPEX. So yeah, for me, if AMC, GameStop all explode by February, early Feb, or Feb OPEX, whatever, my next play, I think, will be SIRI, and I want to see by March OPEX, or end of March. And once that's, that kind of, if SIRI forms something like that, similar to what I have here, and my next play will be SIRI, not financial advice. So don't follow me, okay? Let's take a look at NVDA. How's NVDA is doing? Oh, NVDA dropped 92%. Okay. Oh, okay, there you go. It's like licking my paws like crazy. Like, he thinks my hand is like ice cream or something. So the NVIDIA chart is right there. I don't know if you can take a. I don't know if you can see this one. Maybe I can change the color. Yeah, or maybe this is better. So this is NVIDIA, and the reason I track NVIDIA is that I'm not gonna like short or something yet. But then I want to look at this one just to understand the overall market. If GameStop start to explode, okay, if GameStop start to shoot up by next Monday, Tuesday, as well as AMC or other maybe basket stock or something, something will happen to SPY, right? So which makes sense, this thing will drop. So I want to see this by January 14. I want to see NVIDIA drop like that, up to $100 $100 level here, $104 whatever. I want to see NVIDIA drop minus 23%. I need to see that kind of confirmation, okay? And then recover by a Fab OPEX area, and then this thing just start to melt like crazy, right? And that's when I think Bed Bath Beyond will come out. This area between February 19 or end of February to March, May. Because what I remember, the reason I say that is because there's other area where NVIDIA could tank. I know for sure that, I cannot say for sure. I can say that. This area is the final squeeze of AMC. I'll say that for now. So that's for AMC. This is for January, February. So I think this is for BBBY. I don't know what this is for. Maybe this is for something else. Maybe SIRI. And maybe series and other stuff. But I think this one is Bed Bath Beyond. The reason I say that is because there's one squeeze, second squeeze, right? I took a look at what happened to Hertz. Where's Hertz? Okay, so this is a Hertz chart, okay? So when you take a look at this one, I'm not saying that Bed Bath Beyond will be like that, but this is a short squeeze, right? After exit chapter 11, there was a short squeeze. This is not a gamma squeeze. There's no options, so it's short squeeze. So when Bed Bath Beyond, when Bye Bye Baby, BBBY will become Bye Bye Baby, right? So if Bye Bye Baby comes back, right, BBY with the BBY ticker, I would expect short squeeze like that, like boom, 10,000 or 20,000%, okay? Something will happen. So this went up from $6 to $34. Short squeeze. And people will take profits, right? There are people who wait for 2 years, 3 years. Everyone does, right? But there are maybe people who got in maybe before, maybe after RC sent letter, things like that. So if you counter it in, some people will hold it for a long time, So I think there will be a short squeeze. And then we know the fact that BBY case is way, way bigger than Hertz. You cannot even compare to Hertz. So when Bed Bath Beyond, when Bye Bye Baby comes back with a new ticker, IPO with a Pish Posh, and I do think that that's the possibility that I do agree with those kind of thesis where Pish Posh is the public company. They wanted to go public, but somebody stopped him, right? Somebody stopped them, and then they acquired them, and in the filing says we're gonna do a reverse merger or something like that. And there's a reason why they said that. People don't, the company don't really drop those things, and that's really unusual to me, I think. But they did mention that they have two options, and the second option will be reverse merger. So usually, if the company does a reverse merger, that's usually with a public company with a private company, right? So maybe this is maybe a good example here. So this is a small private company, and this is a large public company, and then the Pish Posh, I don't know how big that is, but it is public company. They were about to go public, but somebody stopped them, right? So they could go to public, right? They're like I see that as some sort of like a SPAC, but it's a little bit different than SPAC. I think, yeah, IPO. So the small private company, which is what Bye Baby. So the company who owned the Bye Baby is a private company, right? It's called BBBY Acquisition LLC or something like that, right? They're private, right? But if they go public through Pish Posh, that become a new public company, and they keep the ticker BBBY. If they bring that BBBY ticker with a shitload of, I mean, you can't even count that, right? Shit tons of short interest. They bring all together. They go public. The squeeze is just so obvious. So, but in what I'm trying to say is a Hertz. There's a two squeeze. When they first exit Chapter 11, and then there's a pullback, people will take profit, right? I mean it's okay to take profits. There's nothing wrong with that, you know. People wait for fucking 2-3 years, and then let's not blame those who wants to take profits. They deserve it, okay? People will take profits, and then they're gonna find a bottom again, which for Hertz, which is this area, this level, shoot back up again, right? Second squeeze, heading into this area, which what happened was they did a share offering, and usually what happened with a short seller, with that share offering shares, they cover shorts, boom, squeeze happened again, and then they relist back to a Nasdaq IPO. There you go. So there's a two squeeze, 1, 2. Let's look at what happened here. This is a reverse squeeze. I mean, you look at it as a opposite way. So if Bye Bye Baby comes back with a ticker with BBBY with a shitload of short interest, squeeze happen, boom, right? And then pull, and then come back up, and the second squeeze happen, boom. That's exactly the same thing with Hertz. Okay, so in my opinion, I think Bye Bye Baby will come back between February 19 to March 13. Sorry, not March. Sorry, what I'm trying to say, May 13. So two squeeze. Not financial advice. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. So let's finish up with the Bitcoin here. So the Bitcoin is tracking very nicely. I do remember some people talks about Bitcoin these days that there will be a big crash. This guy who talks about Bitcoin, Tether hasn't minted anything over the last 2 weeks, and I didn't know that the Europe Tether will be officially banned in Europe for refusing to comply with the regulatory requirements. I didn't know that. So Europe banned Tether. Tether is part of the Bitcoin, right? As a result, 100 exchange will delist Tether, holding the market together. Ticking time bomb. Is about to explode. I didn't know that Europe is gonna ban the Tether. People talks about how the Ponzi scheme, it's the strategy that MicroStrategy uses is a kind of Ponzi scheme. People talks about that these days. There's a lot of dilution. I think he said 97% share dilutions for the MicroStrategy. So I mean, there's something going on definitely. And what's interesting with this all the news based on fractals that I'm tracking here. When you take a look at what happened here in May, sorry, not in May. What month is it? Sorry, October. This is sorry, September to August. So August to September. There was a sharp drop here, right? After this whole thing, before heading into a real bull run. And also when GameStop AMC explode in 2021, minus 26% pullback, right? we're gonna see a squeeze soon, right? From GameStop AMC in January till February, right? Something's gonna happen here. And then why is tracking very similar to August 13? Oh, sorry, 2020 August and September. They're using exactly same fractal. I'm just really just shocked by this. How similar that is. It's just fucking crazy. You know? So by January 8th, which is Wednesday, Bitcoin will come back up to 100K again. And then I'm pretty sure in the media says, oh, Bitcoin. Everyone talks about Bitcoin these days. Even grandma talks about Bitcoins. I noticed that. Some old ladies talk about, oh, did you see Bitcoin going up 100K? Oh my god, should I buy? I was like, no. You gotta wait till January. I mean, yeah, anyway. And there'll be a liquidation happen. I don't know what's going to happen, but this is area where a GameStop AMC, GameStop AMC already went up, will explode by next week. So, which means that by between January 8th to 17th, something's going to happen. They have to liquidate to prepare the massive short covering, right? So something's gonna happen here between Jan 8, Jan 17. And if there's anybody knows what's going to happen here. If there's anything from a politic perspective or some sort of a crypto regulation perspective, if there's any news or events that will be expected to happen somewhere between 2025 January 8th Wednesday to January 17th, if anybody knows some information, please reply to my U-Mergency the post here. I made a post there, so yeah, it will be good to share with anybody, people that what's going to happen somewhere here, because it's really interesting. Well, I don't know. And that's also January OPEX, right? So it's a big option expiration day. So maybe there's a market maker, the hedge funds who short the meme basket or the GameStop, AMC, whatever, or other maybe basket stocks. They're just maybe need that liquidity, so they just pull the liquidity out real fast and prepare to cover shorts, right? So, and then it makes sense that after this huge liquidation, which will drop from 100K to 73K. And some people talks about, oh, this can go 60K. I don't know, maybe. But based on the fractals, which is perfectly tracking with the size, with the whatever I adjusted here, Bitcoin could drop to 73K. Okay, not financial advice, but I'm just saying that. Okay, based on the fractals that I adjusted here. Okay, so we'll see what's going to happen there. And thanks for joining another U-Mergency live stream. I think we're gonna see a big PP candle, in my opinion, in GameStop, possibly AMC, but I think AMC will have to wait until GameStop start to squeeze here, which will happen to in May. So I'm gonna continue to track AMC. I think AMC is gonna be another big monster here. So all those liquidity that all the derivatives and then the swaps they use with the AMCs, or if GameStop explode, everything will explode. You look at what happened to cost. You remember that the cost nobody pay attention to cost until they saw when GameStop squeezed. Cost squeezed 2,000-3,000% in January, right? 2021. Nobody saw that coming. It went up 3,000%. Who would expect that, right? 3,000%. So that's what I expect from AMC. AMC is gonna be a giant monster that nobody, I mean, there are people expect the same. I mean, people see there are people out there that see the same way, but I think AMC, when it start to explode, I think AMC gonna be like a cause, just like straight up. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. So thanks for tuning in, and then I hope to see you guys next Monday. Have a good weekend, and yeah, see you guys later. Bye.